I'd like to welcome everyone to the IMU Board of Trustees of the Electric, Water, and Communications Utilities for February 26th. Roll call.
Yes, Selgrade.
Present.
White.
Present.
Smith.
Present.
Rosga. Voights. Thank you.
Okay, it's time for public comment, but seeing no one, I guess we'll move on. I need a first and second motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
Discussion about any of it? No? Okay. Let's do a roll call then.
Voights.
Yes.
Selgrade.
Approve.
White.
Yes.
And Smith.
Approved.
Thank you.
Okay. Electric utility information line.
I've got a few things here.
Oh my gosh. Good news, I hope.
Well,
Maybe.
a little bit. Turbine 7, still waiting on that heat exchanger. Hopefully that'll be here this week. Turbine 8, they had a little bit of coordination issues trying to get the electrical tester and their mechanics on site, but they will be here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. So be starting on that. Then also with Turbine 8, remember we got the control project still going on. Nate is in New Orleans right now doing the factory acceptance test all week long. He'll go through, I'm glad he likes to go. It's a very intensive 5 days of going through points and verifying everything through. So West Iowa, good news there. We've got all the parts now. We've got to do a little bit of changing on our relays and RTUs. That'll get done next week when Scott from Wisconsin will be down to help us get that done. We did make an offer for the other apprenticeship lineman position. Had great candidates, interviewed 4, and went with this one. I think it'll be a great fit. We do have
start, Mike?
Be 2 weeks from today.
Awesome.
Yep.
Oh, so he's accepted?
He's accepted. We just got to go through the preliminary pre-employment stuff. Yep. Yeah. Meter generation tech 1, we're taking applications right now on that. We've got crews. If you look over on the southeast part of town, we're doing tree trimming right now as part of our IUB maintenance. Hillcrest lighting project, we're up there getting as much done as we can with that project until the lights come in. And then you'll see us back up on the west side of the square here pretty soon with the weather, since we got kind of a head start on some of these other projects, but which is good. We can go over it later on when we get into more of what we've got going, but I'm kind of telling a lot of our contractors right now, if they want something done, I can't guarantee you we're going to get to it. We're just that booked up with the amount of work that we got going on this year. So
Mike, the street lights on Hillcrest, are they the metal pole and light?
Yep, there'll be a metal pole with like a 12-foot arm on them. Yep, about roughly a couple 100 feet apart.
Okay.
We got all the bases and all the conduit put in. They're pulling wire in today, so we'll be able to locate it. That way, once they come in, all we got to do is go out there, set them, and put them up, and yeah, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
My only feedback on Hillcrest is it's a busy street, and your workers have got their orange whatever out, but sometimes it's really close to where they're at.
Yeah.
And some guy today, I don't even know who he was, somebody walked out just as I was kind of going around, and it was hard to see him, so just tell me careful.
Yeah, it's definitely. Hopefully they all had on their reflective stuff.
But he was hidden.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Fortunately, there wasn't a car coming from the other direction, so I had room to move.
Yeah.
But it's tight in there.
It is.
I know when they get construction and the road closed, that won't be an issue, but you have crazies like me on the driving now.
No, I totally agree. It's difficult now with the changes of the elevation through there now as well because of the drainage. We've lost a little bit of visibility as
So,
well. Yep, no, good point.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. We're ready now for water utility action items. Need a first and second motion for resolution 2024 number 8, setting public hearing for Southeast Streetscape water main extension.
So moved. Second.
Let's see, you want us
Yeah, so
to
I've
preface it?
brought this up a few times. Finally got everything penciled down and all the details worked out. So everything inside the square is new, and then this will kind of finish up the alleys of the square. So everything will be new, minus the east side of the alley there where the city bought the bank. So that all got put on hold. So other than the east side, everything else will be new water main and service lines. So.
Perfect. Questions, discussion? Monica, roll call, please.
Yes. White.
Yes.
Smith.
yes.
Voight.
Yes.
Selgrade.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next I will need a first and second motion for resolution 2024 number 9, approving second amendment to tower lease with U.S. Cellular.
So,
Second.
As you may or may not be aware, on our water towers, we have some space leased to U.S. Cellular for mounting their antennas around there. None of that is changing. They are, however, adding some backup generation. So we've amended the lease to give them a little more space, and we are getting a few extra bucks rent out of that generator space. It's otherwise consistent with what we've done previously, and our attorneys have reviewed it, and this is the final work product for that.
Perfect.
Chris, just to summarize that, so the additional rent, can you summarize that for me? I was reading through and it looked like it was a one-time payment of $1,200.
This one, Chris, this is just for the U.S. This isn't for AT&T. This is just
Oh.
U.S. Cellular. All they're doing is just updating the existing antennas they have. They're just taking old ones down and putting new ones up. But back to Chris, another one we are in. We did send off our last agreement to AT&T for their review. So that one will be coming hopefully shortly. But yeah, this one in here is just for them to update.
This is just replacing equipment, so that's why it's only at one time.
Yes.
It's not additional space that they're leasing.
Nope.
Got it. Got it. Yep.
This is just the access, what the access fee with it.
Anything else? Okay, Monica, roll call, please.
Yes. Voight.
Yes.
Selgrade.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Smith.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay, any other water utility informational items?
Yeah, not a whole lot. We did finish up our drain line installation, and then finish up our cleanup on moving dirt. Plant upgrades and well upgrades are full swing right now. They are all happening all at once, so we're busy running into well sites, as well as working on valves and stuff at the plant to help the contractor get those upgrades done. Then other than that, just normal operations for us, getting busy with construction season, so.
Yeah, this weather's great.
Yeah. Yep.
When will they do the hydrant testing?
We'll do that starting in May.
May.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on for communications, utility informational items, you're gonna cover that, Chris?
Yep, communications, installation staff's pretty busy. They're working a lot on temp drops. With this weather, they kind of swung around and are getting a bulk of those undergrounded now, throughout the short winter that we have. That'll be great news because, we don't need to go back later and get those, and once they're taken care of, they won't get damaged by mowing and whatever else may happen. So that'll be a good head start for that staff. Our network engineers are working through a number of software updates for their devices. They're getting ready for that next generation. A few meetings back, we approved that Operations Cloud training. These softwares are all back-end needed for those improvements. Thus far, they've gone through and done the bulk of the equipment. No issues thus far, and so when that all goes live, our equipment in town will be able to handle it. And our new hire, our new fiber installer, training's going well. He is kind of taking primary. He's still working with one of our other installers, but he's kind of switched over into that primary mode already, and a lot of good feedback around that. I think he's getting close to kind of being out on his own here very soon. So
That's great.
yeah, another good news and good information. So
I saw my Lisa sent a note about a fishing experience this week. Did we get caught with anything?
Fishing.
On the email.
Somebody fished
Oh,
email, so.
I wasn't, I'm like, what are you talking about?
So you're
Catfishing.
good. Nobody
Yeah.
clicked on the link.
So where did this new hire then, has he worked in fiber or anything like this before?
He does not directly this type of installation. He's got a lot of hands-on, kind of some of the finished carpentry work, but so generally a handy guy, not necessarily worked with fiber and splicing and stuff. So
Pick stuff up pretty quickly, it sounds like.
yeah. So
That's
so
great.
far so good, and he's progressing well.
Good. Anything else? Okay.
That is it.
Combined electric, water, and communications action items. Fiscal year 2025 budget. I need a first and second motion to open a public hearing for that.
Second.
Okay. Chris, one of you, do you want to address it, or?
Yeah, this is just kind of the culmination of all the work we've been doing the last few months. Holding the public hearing tonight. We have not received any feedback from public or from anyone else, so tonight is
Good to go.
to approve the fiscal year 25 budget.
Nothing changed from what we reviewed in the past.
No.
Okay. Let's see. This just requires a simple motion, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to,
I would say a resolution.
So that was
I
to open and
That was the
close
public
the
hearing.
public hearing.
Yeah.
Now we'll
Two
do
would be the resolution.
And then the resolution.
So
Yeah.
now,
Oh, did I
now
say
open the public
resolution?
hearing.
no,
Yeah.
I called it a hearing, didn't I? Okay.
Now open, you say, open the public hearing, wait for no comments, and then close the public hearing.
And we'll have to take roll call for the open for the public hearing.
Oh, I skipped that,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, we will open the public hearing for fiscal year 2025 budget. Roll call, please.
Voight,
I'm sorry,
We're opening the public hearing. This is your approval. There's no public, but we'll approve it anyway.
yes.
Selgrade,
Yes.
White,
Yes,
and Smith.
Yes.
Thank you.
okay, then.
We're closed.
And of course, going to close, and just a simple motion. Unless-
Yes.
Thank you.
But the budget, we're gonna move to
Yes,
next, right?
now we have the
Yes,
resolution.
now we're
Yes.
going to do the resolution. And we'll need a first and second for that.
So
Two.
moved.
Okay,
Second.
although, let's see, roll call.
White.
Any conversation?
Yeah, do you want to discuss budget at all?
Well, I'll say just a few words,
Oh, I'm
remind the
sorry.
public a little bit, and then I'll.
I thought we kind of discussed it, so I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chris kind of said it earlier, this really is the same consistent budget that we've been talking about for the past couple of meetings. No changes there, and so, more as a public reminder, there are no electric rate increases this year. On water, we do have 75 cents on the base rate and 75 cents on that marginal rate. You know, consistent with prior years, we're keeping that right around the $4 a month rate, and all those extra funds, you know, this year went to a lot of inflationary costs. We did get a little more towards capital as well. And on fiber, there's no fiber rate increases, with the exception of video that talked about a $5 rate increase for the expanded package on the video. That is included in the budget. So, and ultimately, those are the revenue changes, or in some cases, lack thereof, required out of the budget. Staff department heads did a fabulous job. I think, you know, it is exciting this year. You know, we're faced with one of the larger wholesale rate increases that we've seen in a while, and we can afford, wisely and prudently, we can afford to not increase rates. And that, you know, I'll thank Mike there. That's, you know, we've kind of had about a 3-year plan on what we're doing, going is more towards the pay-as-you-go and away from the debt, and that's really taking that on without any additional debt, is allowing us, you know, to forego this rate increase. And so, you know, compliments to Mike and his staff because, you know, operating a little more efficiently and a little better is allowing us to, you know, easily absorb one of the largest wholesale rate increases we've seen in a while. So again, you know, down the line, Justin and his crew, I think they, you know, work their best. They are, you know, keeping track on those costs and prices. You know, unfortunately, water, there's a few required chemicals, chlorines and carbon dioxides, and we've seen tremendous increases in those. So, you know, ultimately, we're passing along, you know, those costs in the form of that 75-cent base rate and 75% marginal rate increase. But again, it probably would have been worse if not for the hard work by Justin and his crew. You know, same goes with fiber. They're certainly, you know, taking on, doing a lot of projects internally and allowing us to accomplish more without increasing any rates or prices. So thank you guys. Thank you, Chris. A lot of hard work here. You know, this is really time to relax. It's kind of been the you know, topic of conversation really since around here since November. So you know, thanks everybody. This is a very exciting, you know, budget to pass. There's a lot of reason to be excited.
Okay.
So I would echo thank you to all of you, because I know it's been a big focus for a long time. So thanks for the energy and the results.
Okay, moving on to the first and second motion.
Vote on that.
Huh?
Vote on the budget resolution. We've had a first and second.
Oh, we already did
vote.
have that. Okay, Monica.
White,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Voight,
Yes.
and Selgrade.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll do the combined electric, water, and communications informational items.
All right. Mike covered the fun we've been having with the turbine. Last meeting, I went to the IMU annual meeting, and you know, it was good to see a lot of those other utility participants. You know, the business that we took care of was, you know, approving some increased rates. They're increasing their rates by 4% from the prior year on a per customer basis. It still remains a great value for us. IAMU does lots of work that we probably couldn't accomplish by ourselves. You know, we operate on a pretty small staff, and their works with regulators and on compliance, it allows us to operate far more efficiently. So, again, while it's not fun to have rate increases, IAMU, you know, really is an asset to our organization. So I appreciate everything they've done.
Troy is still the
Yep.
director or general manager of that or whatever.
Yep, Troy to Jody, as everyone might recall. Next week, or sorry, it's this week now, the League of Cities is holding a Goodwill tour. They're stopping by the Wellness Center, and that is on Wednesday at 5:30. So if anybody can attend, we'll have elected officials from a number of Warren County, Norwalk is going to be there, Martinsdale, Indianola staff, as well as Carlisle, all kind of coming in to get updated on the various legislative going on. So,
Are you going?
yes, yep.
No, I am.
No.
I've got conflicts on at church that I committed to, so.
But thank you for being our rep.
Yep, no, not a problem.
Adam,
So,
did you say you were gonna go?
So then, would you maybe send a little update afterwards and fill us in on what some of the highlights
what
of
all
the
was
meeting?
discussed, yep, I can do that.
There was reference to one specific piece of legislation that I didn't look up as to what it was. It was House File some number. Do you know what the?
Probably
reference is?
718.
Yes.
That was it kind of changed the structure and put some additional requirements around cities for property taxes and what they can increase, and kind of merged a number of levies. It has been I think, League of Cities' bane of their existence. I think it's causing problems across the state by complicating this year's budget.
It's been a big topic at council meetings.
Yeah, nothing that necessarily affected us. I mean, we're all, again, a reminder for everyone, we're rate funded. We don't have any property taxes.
I
So,
just hadn't tied that legislative number title with that.
Yep.
Got it. Perfect.
last week and this week, Chris and I attended our health insurance meeting with Holmes Murphy. I know there'll be a joint meeting on March 4th at the City Council chambers.
Study session.
Does that replace our following meeting, or will we have the 4th?
No, that's the first, so we'll still have the 11th and 25th. This is not on a normal IMU meeting, it's a normal city council meeting date.
And it'll be at council.
So those talks that we had this week, again, more good information, more positive information. This year's, I think, if you look at some of the statistics, they're going to be kind of hard to read because of a number of one-time things that went on. So I would say as you go into this and look through some of the numbers, don't panic when you see any of the necessarily one-time changes. I get comfort at the bottom line number. They're estimating our increase in cost next year to be 1.1%. So nothing to get excited about, and you guys will make that decision. But you know, at 1.1%, and we still gained fund balance last year. There's no reason that we need to do anything terribly crazy, and I think you'll see a number of recommendations, but ultimately they're kind of to leave everything just the way it was for this year.
Do you know where the fund balance is? Just ballpark.
Right now, it's a little over $3 million.
And do you think is the group recommending the holiday or premium?
Holiday pay.
December again?
That they,
Premium
That
holiday.
they take December and we pay that instead of employees?
So for our December premium holiday, that'll be on the topic of discussion again. You know, certainly.
Are you
This
guys
status.
recommending it, or what are your guys' thoughts on it?
Right now, I think we do have sufficient dollars to, you know, return those back to the department heads, and you know, I think it'll come down to the decision on how things went from July to December. But if they go as expected, as you know, or as they have for any of the past 5 years, we should be able to consider that. So, it'll be a wait and see how it goes, but if everything materializes, we should be able to do that again. So, again, almost a mirror image of this year's across the board.
So just to clarify, the premium holiday was for the employee and for IMU, so it was a savings to both the employee and the department.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would really encourage you guys, I'm not gonna be able to make that meeting, but if you feel that strongly that that's what we should do, I would encourage you guys to make that recommendation, not just leave it laying on the table. I think the rest of us are anxious to hear from you, what your thoughts are, what the experience are. We can see the numbers that you guys live it. And so I just think in your role, especially Chris, it's helpful for you to make that recommendation.
Yeah, no, it is something that, if the experience matches our expectations, I would recommend it. If we have some number of events, unpredictable events that, could change my mind, but, right now with expectations, I'd say that is something we should do.
We don't need 3 million in the reserve.
Yeah,
Right.
we're still,
Less than $1 million in the reserve at most.
yep.
Are we gaining in that because of interest? I mean, just we continue to contribute to it.
No, it is, we have the rate revenue, again, coming from the employees, and what we charge the departments is for, at least since we converted, is, the revenue coming in is well in excess of what our claims experience is. And some of that, through the employees making good decisions
So we're
and not
fortunate we have a
spending.
healthy group, so that could change. I guess, do we need to carry that much? We've
No.
talked about this, I guess,
No.
and it feels like we say no, 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 and it still sits there.
That's been the discussion for as long as I've been on this board.
It
It wasn't that way before I was on this board.
But it got healthy.
They got in trouble not too long before I was on this board.
I think I recall that conversation.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go back there, but if we've got money there that we obviously have needs, it just feels funny to have an excess in that.
And that is, I think that is a little of the discussion with, it is the council and, the city management staff. No one wants to make some big changes to kind of drop that down as quick. The hope was, last year by implementing some of these practices, we'd see decreases. We seem to be increasing the amount of reasons that the fund balance should go down, but for
That
other
doesn't go
reasons,
down.
but for other reasons, most of them good. It comes a lot down to, we've got a relatively healthy staff. Holmes Murphy's they use a lot of composite actuarial assumptions, and I think across the board we do better than the average population does. I think in talking with some of the other management staff, we've got our guys are staying fit, they're climbing poles, they're down working shovels. Like our average employee is pretty active and healthy, and probably a little more so than the average population, myself included. So it's all for good reasons that we're having positive experience, and we don't want to make any big swings to try to, we're trying to make little progressive changes to start the directional decrease. It just hasn't decreased yet.
Okay. Any other business or anything else?
The only other thing I got noted at our 325 meeting, we'll have our IUB reliability plan. Again, that's nothing that we necessarily need to go into too much detail. It's a compliance-related item that we got to file by the 1st of April, and it's again good information. We've done that every year. It's good information for the public to have. Take a look about how proactive we're being, and mostly I think to prove that we have a plan, that we're not kind of neglecting the system. That it's a exercise in making sure everything that Mike's doing is keeping our electrical system reliable, so that'll be
Okay.
coming up in the packet. Nothing necessarily to do, but for the public, some good information to have.
Okay.
So I can I just ask a quick question? I'm not as in tune with the legislation, kind of what's being proposed. Are there any pieces of legislation that are in the funnel or have been maybe put on place that we should be concerned about?
There's nothing that IAMU is looking at. I think all that legislative stuff is really over to the city side. They've left the utilities alone this year. I know we had some zoning-related concerns in prior years. None of that made it through the funnel again this year, and so,
So we're in a good spot then.
yeah, I guess no news is good news.
Okay.
It's just not something I keep up on very well. It's probably something I should.
Okay, anybody else got anything else? Okay, if not, I'll take a first and second to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
I guess.